gavel ready for Kevin.
Wow.
Yeah. What's that?
I can have my husband run them down if I'm desperate, but
I don't think we have that much.
I don't, I think it's gonna be pretty quick, so.
We should get you one like that.
We should.
It's like a gaming chair.
It is, it looks really nice.
Yeah, you can try it out, see if you like it. We don't, as long as it doesn't creak, that's all I care.
You're like, here we go.
Okay. We'll come out of recess. Just for a quick update, the meeting was called to order at 6:03 or something, and we went into executive session. And the findings in the executive session were, what did you write down?
Legal action, no matters taken.
Legal action, no action taken. So then we came out of executive session. We're in the regular meeting now, and we came out of recess. The one thing we haven't done today is the Pledge of Allegiance. So let's do it now. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next order of business is the consent agenda. Did everyone have a chance to read through the consent agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Motion for approval of consent agenda?
Second?
We have a motion. It's been seconded. Any discussion? All those
In favor?
in favor? Gosh, thank you. It's been a long night and it just got going. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Consent agenda is approved. Reports. So I really don't have much to share tonight. You will see something on our town webpage. We have this new painted wall, and we'd like to get some local either artwork or photography that is kind of like, what is it, Sarah? Like the day in the life of Alpine sort of thing, like anything that inspires you, a photograph that you've taken, that you've painted, something like that. So we're going to have a contest. So you will see kind of the specifics on that on our webpage and also on Facebook. But yeah, we think it's a good idea to kind of put some local artwork up on the walls. So we're excited about that. Anything else I'm missing, Madam Clerk?
You could mention the open house.
Oh, yes, very important. Thank you. Our consultants are going to be here next week. Is it? No, it's in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from...
Third.
2 weeks from yesterday, the consultants are going to be in town and have their open house, which is everything that we've been doing is building up to now. This is the opportunity for the local citizens to have their voice heard. You're going to be able to talk directly to the consultants. And so it's very important. It is from 5 to 7 on the 3rd at the Civic Center. So if you have any questions, call Town Hall and ask, is this appropriate to come and ask them? Whatever it is, if you have any questions, just feel free to give us a call. But in general, we're putting it out to everyone in Star Valley. We want to hear from anyone because most people drive through Alpine on the way to town or whatever. So November 3rd, 5 to 7 at the Civic Center. That's all I have. Kevin, do you have a report for engineering? Okay.
Council members, Mayor, Kevin Mahar with Jorgensen. The Radio Read project is the one that we're kind of finishing up right now. We've got the antenna towers. They're basically large metal poles. They're supposed to be installed next week. So once those get installed, the controls will go on, and then everything should start coming back here to the town hall for reporting wise. And hopefully everything goes well. We'll have an operational system at the end of this month.
Okay.
So we've still got a couple of bigger vaults that missing little pieces that was part of that change order number 2, that they'll come online as the parts come in and we put those in line. So little pieces like that to take care of. Then development reviews, the only thing we're working on that so far is a little lift station for Dead Horse project. A little bit on the sewer and the water rates that we're helping out with to try and get that ready for y'all to look at the next meeting.
Back to Dead Horse, are you just reviewing their plans?
Just reviewing on the lift station, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And it's a concrete,
it is going to be a concrete,
Okay.
yes.
perfect.
Yeah. So we're just kind of down to the minor details now about pressure transducer versus ultrasonic, kind of the tiny things now.
Okay.
So, yeah. The pretreatment plant, it's processing some water, not fully functioning. It's got a lot of alarms. It's got many sensors that are not operational. So there's many things that have to be kind of worked through at this point. The dewatering press, they started it up and they couldn't get it to go in automatic mode, so they had to do it in a manual mode. So they ran the first dewatering on it with that. They're coming back this next Tuesday to try and see if they can get it to work in automatic mode. So instead of having Dry Creek run 6 trucks, ran 1 dumpster. So it's pretty impressive what comes out of it. It really looks like dirt.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
And we could sell it.
Yeah, yeah, or at least give it away so you don't have to pay somebody to take it. Right. Yeah. So
Can you make berms out of it?
yeah, it's organic at that point, but
Okay.
yeah. So
We can
We'll let
hide we can hide the sewer plant using sewer runoff
There you
with
go.
berms. I like,
Yeah.
We'll let you go smell it first, Shay.
yes. Smell test.
there you go. Come on by. We're going to be running some on Tuesday. So
Yeah.
let's see, a little bit of industrial use permits. Dustin's working with JVI on that. We're helping out with just a little pieces, parts, not much, and then that's it. Really, that's the big parts.
Awesome. Any questions for Kevin? Just so you know, Councilmember Scavini might be reaching out to you regarding a little project that she might take on and work with Monica and Ms. Scavini for that. But yeah, we just information gathering.
Cool.
So
Okay.
if you hear
Look
from
forward to
them,
it.
that's what it's regarding.
Okay. Sounds good.
Any questions for Kevin? All right.
Thanks, Kevin.
Let's see. Planning and zoning. Mo, did you come to give a report?
You missed one.
Hey, you skipped me.
Oh my gosh, Andrea, I'm so sorry.
I have the most important.
Okay, please. I apologize. Sorry.
We have Trunk or Treat coming up on the 31st at 5 p.m. out here in the parking lot. It's a great community event, great for the kids, great for the families. Bingo is the first and third Friday of each month through April. And that's a great way to get out and to do something on a Friday night, and it benefits the community. All the funds raised go back into the community. And we have the Community Thanksgiving Dinner coming up on Thanksgiving, sponsored by Top of the Rockies, and that is for anyone. If you don't want to cook, if you don't have family, if you don't feel like sitting at home by yourself, if you don't want to cook, that's me. Come on down. There.
Sounds good. Good job. I'm so thankful that we had that. Thanks. Okay, now, Mo, planning and zoning.
We had a couple things we went through on the last planning and zoning. We had some, oh goodness, I'm trying to remember, our special use permit, some discussions on that. And we had we went through the public hearings forum for the, oh goodness, I'm trying to remember the dang. I can point out the places, but we had a couple of the special use permits for creative properties and just things like that, and everything was normal as far as I could tell. I don't know if you guys have any questions for.
I do.
Yes,
I was
ma'am.
wondering, and is this for the property, Dave Jenkins?
Yes, ma'am.
So one of the questions a couple people asked me why are we not rezoning versus just handing out special use permits?
So, okay,
'Cause
so.
that seems to be like we're creating this dynamic, and so yes.
So you're absolutely correct. So in the very beginning, before all of this all came down the pikes, it was all a little bit of, should we do this, should we do that? It was back and forth on how they wanted to develop the project.
Okay.
So they went back and forth on if they wanted to keep it commercial, keep it MRC, whatever options were open for them at that time. So it was just something that this was the best course of action for how they wanted to see their future use of their project at that time. They had the option of keeping it commercial or doing MRC. By keeping it just commercial, if I recall correctly, you can't have mixed use, you can't have live-work properties, if I understand correctly, if I recall correctly. Under
you
commercial,
cannot have
yeah.
housing on it.
So they wanted to try to do it with MRC, with the option at some point in time, if things change, depending on what comes back with the Cushing Terrell, they might want to switch that back to commercial or whatnot.
But they already have living. in
They do,
commercial.
but I'm telling you in the very, very beginning, when this first started.
okay.
So now, where they started, now where they ended now, they wanted to keep it as MRC instead of just
Okay.
flat-out commercial.
Okay, so there isn't a special use permit?
There is a special use permit because it is under an acre lot. And so, and it's like it's a minuscule amount that it's under commercial use, or it's under an acre property that will make it to where it's not just where they can do MRC and have I don't know.
So it's still
I can't-
zoned correctly?
It is still zoned as MRC, which is how they want it to be for now. But they have to do the special use permit
Because of the size of?
because it's just under an acre lot.
Okay,
So
I just
that's
had a
why.
few people reach out. They're like, we saw this sign and what's?
Yeah, and, I mean, this lot has been here in the town for years, and it's been, and so it's under the acre lot, and so the best use for them, for what they've got, is to do the special use permit instead of,
Yeah, and just to clarify, it was non-conforming.
oh, yeah,
because
100%.
It
You
had
remember.
residential on a commercial lot, so they came in and asked
To go
to have it rezoned. So that happened under our administration.
Early, yeah, it was super early,
So,
yeah.
and I do have some questions about this whole process and the timing of the master plan, and is it the right time to be looking at this? But you guys met and talked about it, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you have a recommendation?
Yes.
Okay,
Well, because, like I said, it's just under an acre lot, barely under an acre lot. And they could also proceed to try to buy land from one of the adjoining property owners to make it an actual acre lot. Or the less invasive for them is to do the special use permit. And it is an older lot, and, yeah, and the Mayor's absolutely correct. We've all been here long enough, we remember what that property looked like before. And so it's not like they're building some monstrosity and making it worse than what it
No, and
is.
I love live work.
Yeah.
I think
It's
what-
quite handy, and it looks
Especially
nice.
what people keep saying.
Yes, ma'am. And then we also went through the proposed trash ordinance that we were talking about. There was some discussion about that on just some of the things that were thrown on there. It's not an ordinance yet by any means, it's just something that the town is putting together, so. there
Okay,
was
and
some
I'm working
discussion
on the
that.
light ordinance, so do I submit that to?
The light ordinance for dark skies? or-
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
you could just send it.
send it to Monica
And
first.
Gina.
And Gina.
And then we'll make sure it's
Because I almost have it
disseminated.
finished.
Perfect.
And so I'll get it over. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, give it to me and Gina, and then we'll get it downstream to everybody.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Is the trash ordinance you're referring to the burning one?
No, so it was a recommendation from, I have my paperwork, sorry. It was just a draft of what, because we don't have a trash ordinance within the town of Alpine. So it was just a draft on just rough what you guys were thinking about needed to change as far as picking up a trash can, occupied, every occupied property must have adequate trash containers, fencing off trash containers that were on the town property, or not town property, pardon me, but commercial zones and stuff like that. It's just a proposed ordinance that you guys were just discussing and talking about.
Okay, so, if I'm not mistaken, we have ordinances in place that cover us for unsightly, property that have trash.
Correct.
Things like that.
Correct, but there's no ordinance in the town of Alpine that requires people to have trash receptacles and have their trash taken away.
Yeah.
Nor is there ordinances to limit how trash is managed on a commercial property. And so it's a conversation that we've had internally. Is it something the town
Right.
wants to do or not? So that's why it
When
went
are
to
you
them.
anticipating bringing this ordinance forward?
So that's something that Gina's is working on, and I haven't seen anything back from their meeting, so.
It was
it's-
just something that
yeah.
was brought to our attention. There's quite a few things that I took, not issues with, but had concerns about. So that's just one of the things.
That's great. You guys figured that out?
Yep.
and-
Oh,
yeah.
That's why we have them.
It was ordinance 2025 is all I've got, so,
Okay.
okay.
Any questions for Mo?
I don't know if I answered any well enough, sir.
Since you brought up trash, just an FYI, something that has been discussed many years previous is, should the town contract with only one trash provider?
Okay,
The
Trash
think-
provider?
Well, pickup provider.
Okay.
The thinking being on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe Wednesday or Friday, we have multiple heavy equipment trash trucks on our roads, putting strain and stuff on our roads, as opposed to if we contracted with just one trash company, then it would limit the amount of heavy trucks on the town of Alpine roads.
that was not in here. And
Oh, no, that's why I bring it up. I'm sure
Okay.
it wasn't in there.
No, it was
That
not.
was
and-
discussed years ago.
Yeah, and I don't know if I mean, because every service provides a different service for all of our citizens, right? I mean, some people are just fine.
They're all on a weekly thing now.
They are, but some services will only pick up your one trash can and throw it in your trash. Some of us like to take our trash out, and our trash guys will empty our regular trash cans, and if we put boxes out there, they'll throw those in the trash. So not all the trash companies are all the same. So I don't know if that's not in this.
What would benefit the town of Alpine?
I think competition benefits. the
Yeah, I
town.
concur. I think that's a little invasive.
But we
to
can
just-
discuss that. You
Yeah.
guys discussed.
Do you want me to just bring that up, that was something? Okay,
Yeah, conversation.
let me make a note of that. Yes, sir.
And just out of curiosity, because I don't know, if the town contracted one company, then the town would become the trash provider, means we would charge
The monthly for-
the monthly fees. So,
One more
okay,
thing to do.
We got nothing. We,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we might as well take that on too.
Yeah, no, I do not
Kidding.
agree with that.
Just so everyone at home.
Yeah. So, and
To
some
bring
of
up
it's.
a point of conversation.
Yeah, for sure. And some of the stuff that was, and like, it was discussed at the P and Z that this is just stuff that that was thrown at us just to start to get the ball rolling, and get the conversation happening. There were a few things that I thought were a little invasive that I thought was just not really
yeah,
behoove us.
I didn't draft that, so.
So, there we go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, next, Mr. Larson.
Yeah, so kind of do a economic development / county travel and tourism. For county travel and tourism, we've been meeting regularly, trying to set up the structure, set up the process. And with that, their last meeting, kind of working on, does the county TNT, are they more of a marketing board, specific to branding the county, advertising for the county, should monies go towards that? Or are they more of a grant giving board, as opposed to people come that are in the county, apply for a grant for a project, similar to what the towns do on their travel and tourism? Came through a little bit of both, want to focus both on branding and on grants. We're working on meeting with a consultant down in Cokeville. The date has not been set, but we're hoping within the next month to month and a half to kind of get a little bit more guidance there. But more than likely, it'll probably come out as similar to the county's recreation committee, where, at least on the grant side of things, where And that'll also be similar to Alpine's. You know, you're on the same fiscal calendar as the county will give the TNT board their budget, they'll take applications starting the first of the year, they'll go through the applications, meet, and then present their awards to the commissioners, and then the commissioners will vote it in, similar to kind of what we do for that next fiscal year. But we're still working on that process. Segueing into Alpine travel and tourism, again, our meeting's on November 6th at 6 PM here. And we'll be hearing from all the grant recipients over the summer, getting their feedback reports. And then we'll also be taking care of business, some housekeeping business. And yeah, and then working towards the grant season coming January 1. Any questions?
Seeing none, thank you. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Report is posted online, so we'll move right into action items. First up is a lease addendum for Get Down Inc., or LLC.
Make a motion to approve lease addendum, Get Down LLC.
Second.
We have a motion, it's been seconded, discussion. Madam Clerk, can you tell us why this is coming in front of us? And turn on your microphone, please.
Sorry, I had the hiccups, so I turned it off. So Melvin's, as you know, entered into a lease with the town of Alpine for a parcel out front. They're in the process of doing the permitting to be able to install a sign on the town of Alpine's property that they're leasing. However, I think they realized when I sent them the lease that they don't want to start paying rent right now because they can't really utilize the property until probably next year. And so I told them that that would require an addendum to the lease to just state that. And then they also brought up that they would like to have the option of renewing the lease and set up terms for it to extend after 5 years. And again, I told them put it in an addendum form and send it to me, and I would put it on your agenda. So this is what they sent.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think it makes sense that, for one, they won't be able to get a sign installed until next spring at the earliest. So I do agree with that. And then their 5-year term would start at that point, correct? Is that how I'm reading it?
Yes. That's how I read it, but have Jim read it.
Extension of term of lease.
Yeah.
Option to renew lease for one additional term of 5 years. Quote unquote renewal term.
Does anyone have any questions on this addendum?
No, it all seems logical.
Should we amend the motion? Because I didn't hear one to allow the mayor to sign it.
Thank you.
That's true.
I missed that. Apologies.
Let's see. Let me amend motion to approve lease addendum, Get Down LLC, to motion to approve lease addendum and have Mayor Green sign off for Get Down LLC.
Second.
We have an amendment, and it's been seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I'd like to ask council on this. Do we need to have I don't know, part 4, any language in there, worst case scenario language that if Melvin goes bankrupt, then, well, that's where I say if they go bankrupt and everybody gets fired, no one's removing it. So how do we handle that?
How do you handle if they're bankrupt, everybody's fired, and no one's removing it?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess the thing is it would be a contract. If they go bankrupt, this would be something that would be of value to the bankruptcy estate. And so we would be dealing with the bankruptcy trustee. We would be dealing with the bankruptcy trustee on that. So I don't think you need to put anything in there. It's just either way, you can't contract out of what the bankruptcy trustee is going to do. Okay? So,
We didn't have it covered in the lease, that part, in the original lease?
no, there's nothing about insolvency of the company.
Or removal
I
if,
think that we did have something about removal.
Yeah.
If they had to pay to remove it. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're not going to get anything out of them if they're bankrupt.
right, well, it also, it could be rebranded as a.
Well, that's what I wanted, can
Yeah.
it just go to the town of Alpine?
Yeah.
And the town of Alpine will rebrand it to what may be at that time.
To what we have.
Yeah.
Let me look at the original one that we have. So let's put this on the back burner for a second. Do you want to make a motion to just, let's get back to this? You can continue with your
Make a motion.
agenda, and then I can look at the old one.
We can make a motion to approve the amendment? Is that what you're asking?
No, because we want to look at what the original lease said. Give me a second to look at that.
Yep.
So you guys can go through rather than
Okay,
waiting
so our
for me to
amendment
read.
basically is
I read
just
slowly.
to add the language for the mayor to sign it. So does anyone have any questions on that amendment? It's been seconded. All right, all those in favor of said amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, hearing none. We've now added the language to allow the mayor to sign it. Mr. Sanderson's going to let us know about that potential
The,
addition.
I think what he was asking is for somebody to make a motion to postpone the vote and go on to the next item while
Yes.
he reviews it.
Make a motion to postpone.
Second.
We have a motion to postpone. It's been seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. We'll just move it down the action item agenda here. So next is the special use permit for Melvin Brewing sign. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
may we go to C and then do Melvin?
that makes sense. Let's do that.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion for resolution number 2025-47?
Motion to adopt resolution 2025-047 Alpine Travel and Tourism Board Semi-Quincentennial Celebration Grant.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. It's been seconded. Discussion. I can probably add to the discussion here. So we have met with our committee several times now, and one of the main things that we're trying to decide is we want to hire a band for after the parade and before the fireworks. And we've talked to several bands and performers, anything from small bands that cost maybe whatever, $5,000, all the way up to, we had somebody that got back to us, it was like over $100,000. It was, the full band was coming, they're on tour in the summer and the whole thing. So we've ended up kind of landing on a country artist, and his name is Jake Worthington, I believe. Yes. And he seems awesome. He's available, and since their promoter has never done business with the town of Alpine, they require a 100% deposit to book him. So there will be more asks coming, but this is the first ask, and basically we're trying to get town council's approval to ask Travel and Tourism for a grant. And that would be at their meeting on November 6th. So that's kind of the background on this. The group kind of agreed. We had, 10 more than 10 bands, and we whittled it down to this one guy who's great in our opinion. And it was everyone. It was unanimous. Everyone agreed on this one person. So I think it's good, good person to try to hire, and this is the next step. So any questions, I could probably answer them for you.
Do you have any information on, it says initial funding request, what more you're gonna put forward?
So, at this point, I guess I wouldn't want to speak to that, but, in general, we're trying to go through things that the town should pay for, things that will not be reimbursed by anybody. And then there's all sorts of things that we're trying to involve foundations to, if they are going to participate. For example, we're gonna have another car show, and we've asked Top of the Rockies to participate in that, so they could bring in whatever revenue comes from, that car show. So there wouldn't be anything out of pocket for a majority of the, events going on. But I would say right now, just an initial, like, we think the town, for example, fireworks, it's our intention to up the fireworks. Normally, we've been paying 15,000. There's been talk of going up to 25,000. So, and then, the rest of the kind of non-reimbursable things, that is something that we will go to the travel and tourism to pay for, you know, a big portion of that as well. But, so I can't answer that exactly, but the number of, like, all of the events, whether they're unreimbursed or not, maybe it's around $75,000. But, you know, that's why we want to ask the tourism board for the whole kit and caboodle.
For the band?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys are working on a lot of different things
Yeah.
and looking at it from a lot of different directions, so.
Yeah.
that's- We're all excited to see what's coming.
Yeah, yeah. Any other questions?
Can you pull up the resolution?
Yeah. That part?
What- What was the initial ask for?
25,000.
25,000. Okay, so this won't even cover the proposed ban?
No, well, 25,000 is the deposit. This is the cost of the band. Now, another thing that this will not cover, that we are likely to add this to a future grant request, would be, we're gonna hire Gray Bear Productions to do their side of the production. So that is not, that's above and beyond this 25,000.
So that's just for the artist.
Yeah, this is just the artist. So there's gonna be, you know, a stage will have to be rented, all the speakers, all that stuff, so.
Okay.
One question I had, Councilmember Larson, what dollar amount was granted to Gray Bear for the, reggae in the Rockies?
For reggae in the Rockies, for 2 days was $20,000.
Right, okay. So, any other questions?
No, if I vote no, I just want the public to know why. I guess for me, I want a big celebration, but I think $25,000, that's like 7 weeks of music in the summer. And I think for one night, it scares me that, one, if weather put a kibosh, and two, I mean, 25,000 is like, I think what they spend probably in a much larger municipality. And I guess I just hate to see travel and tourism drained of those large sums for one event. But that's just, I wanted to go on the record.
Yeah, just so you know, I think this Jake Worthington, and if it's promoted right, there's talk of a major tour that he's going to be going on, so I think next year his name's going to be big. But I think we will, with this act, bring in more people than the reggae in the Rockies. So, you know, I think we could have a couple thousand people attending this concert. So that's,
Are we gonna, is this gonna be free to the public, or are we
Yes.
gonna? Yes. Okay.
yeah. We are thinking about, again, with the foundations, being able to make some money and hopefully organize the parking situation, is allow people to charge for parking to park in our town-owned properties. For example, the car show's out here, Top of the Rockies is running the car show. We give them this parking lot, everyone pays $20 or whatever to park here at the VIP parking or something like that. And we do it with the property down by the school. The charter school has been interested in wanting to get involved as well. So that's just something that we've been talking about, allowing.
Just to bring in some revenue to different groups in the town.
Exactly, because that's in general, with the grand marshal, things of that nature, where we want everything to be related around a foundation and earning, or bringing in money for those foundations wherever we can,
Right.
so.
And this is just approving us to present the request, make the grant request to the Travel and Tourism Board. They will ultimately decide.
Exactly. Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of said resolution, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Nay.
Abstain.
Okay, so motion passed 3-1. Let's go on and do the last, are you still doing some research?
I've got it figured out.
Okay,
So yes, they do under the original contract have, if for termination, whatever that is, if the end of the contract, they have to go back and their cost, fill it in and take care of it, or if they fail to live up to any other part of the contract, they have to let their cost go in and fix it.
perfect. Let's jump back to that. I would entertain a motion to put the Get Down LLC addendum back on the table.
Yeah, return the motion, approve lease addendum, and allow Mayor Green to sign for Get Down LLC.
Second.
We have a motion, it's been seconded, discussion. So, Mr. Larson, I think hopefully he answered your question?
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion on this? I'll go back to that.
I guess my only question, and I'll bring it up under B as well, we are only speaking to the location on the highway, nowhere else. Okay.
Correct.
That's all I wanted to make sure. Because kind of with my light ordinance and people from Riverview Meadows, I know at a meeting 6 months ago, they talked about the corner down on the bench where it's just black. Is just not having a sign there that's really bright, like a billboard in the middle of the
You
darkness.
don't want like an electric sign down there?
With a big arrow that says Melvin? So I just wanted to make sure this was only on the highway. Okay,
It is.
thank you.
All right, any further discussion? All right, all those in favor of said motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, now on to the special use permit. Can we get a motion to get it on the table?
Motion to approve Get Down LLC DBA Melvin Brewing Company special use permit contingent upon a fully executed lease agreement and payment of all fees associated with the application and a stipulation that they obtain any required permit from YDOT for an off-premise sign.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilmember Scafidi. Discussion. Okay, so there's tons of attachments here. I'll bring up anything anyone wants to reference specifically.
I guess I'm back to another special use permit.
Yeah.
But I guess a sign is a special use permit?
The sign
We're just clicking on-
only on this sign is a special use because the land use development code doesn't allow for them to have a sign on our property on the type of property that it's zoned.
Okay.
Yeah, it's specifically like a zoning issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of what the special use permit was designed for, that the use of this business by putting a sign up is outside, it doesn't conform with the land use development code.
Yeah, essentially, the business who's on the property can have a certain amount of signage, not the business who's not.
I don't know, I feel like we just keep doing these, but I want it there in the sense of our neighborhood gets a lot of traffic from it, so.
Any other discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
can you bring up the picture of the sign itself?
I think it's on the presentation.
It is.
Yeah. So I just have a question. Do we know how tall our welcome signs are of Alpine, welcome Alpine signs?
Yeah, they're like 12 feet tall.
Because that seems, just looking at that, 20 feet high, in my opinion, seems very large.
Is that, like, how high is the sign at the clinic?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. It seems like, yeah,
I think-
that's fairly high as well.
I think that's close to 20 feet. Especially like on the side of the road, things are, like, even if you stop and look at a speed limit sign, when you're driving past them, they don't look very big, but if you stop, and I only know this because I was in a fraternity in college, and for some reason, signs just happened to show up at the fraternity and so, on the side of the road.
magic.
I was not party to it, but I did see signs, but, so that's a great question. I think, the 20-foot, I think the clinic sign has got to be close to 20 feet. So, and I would think that this is going to be a better sign than what that is, more substantial, for sure.
It looks wide.
That's just my only concern. I wouldn't say complaint, but definitely concern where 8 feet wide doesn't concern me, but the 20 feet high, you know, because that's what I thought. Our welcome signs, because I just kind of compared it to our welcome signs, thinking they're in that maybe 12 to 15 foot range. And they stand out. I have no problem.
They're 10 feet wide
Yes.
by 12 to 15 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so 8 feet wide, and if it was, we're doing this as a special kind of favor to the Riverview Meadows HOA, because we definitely don't want people driving through their subdivision and ruin that, but also at the same time, in a way, it's a special deal, but I don't also want to set a huge precedent of other businesses going, man, the town's just plain advertising for Melvin. We'd like to advertise for all our businesses. All our businesses, in my eyes, are created equal. Just 20 feet high seems to, and I know if you're gonna, Mo, are you gonna talk about the code?
Yeah, well, no, not about the code, but there was conversation to be had underneath the Melvin Brewing, the other direction signs for like the charter school or things along those lines. So maybe that wasn't taken into consideration on the height on that as well. Because you gotta keep in mind too, we're gonna have snow stack, we all know that.
Right.
And that might be a part of the consideration on why it was so tall as well. That's what we talked about at our meeting as well.
That's a good point. We did discuss that when we
Yep.
kind of,
Yeah, I mean, because I thought about that and just looking at the sign, if that's 20 feet, I'm guessing the legs are probably 9 feet and the sign itself is 11 feet because it looks little proportion. But that was my concern to bring that up. And then the second concern is where it is a directional sign, it says Melvin, it has the arrow pointing. That's like, sweet. Mr. Mayor, if you'll scroll up. The placement of the sign, though, is horizontal, so that arrow would tell people that it's down the highway, not vertical.
Oh, it's not vertical?
It's not vertical to the
No, it's gonna
highway.
be perpendicular, right? to the
Well,
road.
it'll be right.
It should, but I want to make sure, because on this schematic, it is not perpendicular to the highway.
Oh, no. Yeah, so the sign itself is going to be perpendicular to the highway, for sure. We're leasing them a piece of property that's,
That's the size of the property that.
Oh, but he is right.
Yeah.
8
2
foot
feet
long
long.
by
No.
2 feet wide.
Right.
So the handwritten GIS picture, I sent it to Jody at Melvin's, and I was trying to explain to her what I needed on her map, and she put that box on it and sent it back in their thing. So if you look at our lease agreement with them, I've attached a more accurate box.
Yeah.
So we actually went out after seeing this and made sure there was sufficient room to put it. It will definitely be put that
this,
way.
Okay.
this is
Yes.
just on their presentation.
Okay.
And
Yes.
this is not what the lease says, but
Yeah.
imagine that box turned 90 degrees, and that's what it will
Yep.
look like.
So with that said, when you did the measurements, I
Yes.
also want to confirm to make sure that it's not going in where we plan to groom in the wintertime
No,
for snowmobiles,
it's on our property. You're talking about
the right-of-way.
the right of way.
Right, yeah, it can't be on
YDOT won't
YDOT's
allow us
property
to
at all.
put it on the right of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craig went out with me, to make sure that they had the sufficient space to put it on our property.
And they're gonna run power to this sign, which I think is an advantage to us for the future.
Thank you, Mo.
Yes.
But looking at this sign just one more time, there was discussion that we could have, just like Mo said, we could have future businesses that are going to be down there as an addition to the sign, and they're fine with that. They may end up sharing in the cost or something, I don't know. That necessarily hasn't been figured out. But I think because of snow storage and things like that around here, the 20-foot is probably a good thing. As far as how wide the sign is for the clinic, I think it's maybe 6 feet wide. So this sign might be a little taller and a little wider than that sign. Any other questions?
Well, now it makes me wonder if it should be the same size as the other one. Because you're right, then it does kind of show a little more preferential.
in-
And I'm not trying to,
I do want to
It's not
respond to
ginormous.
the, like, our other business is going to come and ask. So Melvin, as far as I can recall, is the only business that we have on town land. Right? So, and,
Well,
But
we got,
but they have a sign.
But they have,
yeah, the only, so there might be other people that come and complain, like, how come on the other side of town, you're not promoting mine or whatever? But, you know, we can only grant a lease for a sign on our property, not property on the other side of town that we don't own. So, that, I guess, is the distinction in my mind, the difference.
Well, the intent is the directing people to the right place. The side benefit for them is they get to have a big sign with their name on it.
Yeah.
There's no way around that.
It will, no doubt, help people find Melvin, and for whatever reason, that's a problem. The biggest white building in town, and people can't, you know, find it. But anyways, I think it should help, so.
well, also, if anyone's noticed the latest Google Maps, Google sent these satellites through a few weeks ago, and so now the whole town of Alpine has been updated
Oh.
on Google Maps. It is no longer Alpine of probably 2012.
Yeah, it was really old.
Yeah, so it's all updated as of maybe 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Great. Any other questions? Do you have any questions, comments? Okay. All those in favor of said motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, so we're back to that. We've done that. And now we are going to look at the annual report and self-audit. Do we have a motion?
Motion to accept fiscal year 2025 F-66 Wyoming-2 Annual City and Town Financial Report and Self-Audit.
Second.
We have a motion. It's been seconded. Discussion. In my mind, this is just kind of, basically, the
yeah, the
town
F-
council saying that
You've received it.
we've received it. You've already submitted it.
It's all been submitted, yeah. So the F-66 is accounting of cash. The self-audit is Wade Hershey, our CPA, came in. I did a bunch of it before he got here, the things that I could do, but he did all of the testing that was required on it, so.
He did say that this is something that we can do ourselves in the future. It's just like you have to
Yeah.
have specific people that come and pull 10 different bills and, you know, whatever it is. So we can do it ourselves in the future, but it's helpful to have him show us how to do it. So,
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, and especially if there's council members who are willing to do it, it's a really good learning experience to really get familiar with what's, you know, where everything is around here and how it's stored and to find, it's really quite a relief when he hands you a list of 10 things and you're able to pull them out of boxes and find them and you're like, "Phew, okay."
yeah, thank goodness, right?
Yeah.
Okay, any other? Yes.
If I may, and I hope I'm not putting you on the spot here, Mark. I was just curious, on the curious,
Yeah,
the highlights, yellow, blue, and red,
that's when the,
I was just curious what,
that's when the account's balanced.
oh, okay.
So we highlight it as we're checking things off.
Okay. I just kind of, if one, like, what does red mean, what does yellow mean, what does blue mean?
Well, it probably depends on the day.
Gotcha. Okay. It was just grabbing a different highlight. Okay, I got it.
Okay, any further questions, comments? All right, all those in favor of said motion, say aye.
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 I'm gonna abstain.
Okay. Opposed? Hearing none, so one abstain, and motion carries. Okay, so now we have E, which is not on our list, but was added. Councilmember Larson, would you read your motion?
Yeah. Motion to approve the electric distribution easement with Lower Valley Energy and allow the mayor to sign it upon review and approval of our attorney.
Second.
We have a motion, it's been seconded, discussion.
Are we
Just so
able to pull
everyone.
it up?
Yeah, I will.
Oh.
Actually, no, I don't have it.
I mean, just in case.
Yeah, I don't have it. It hasn't been emailed to me, so I don't have it. If anyone would like to read it, it's here. We'd be more than happy to make a copy. Would anyone like to read it? Okay. This was given to us very last minute, and you know we don't like to add things very last minute, but in an effort to keep things moving along, this is directly in regards to the charter school and for them to run the power to the location, they will need an easement. There's a couple things that Mr. Sanderson has brought up that he would like to change, and I would yield to you if you want to bring up those concerns you have.
I've actually just narrowed it down to one because the attorney's fees is actually benefits us, well, no, I'm gonna go back and change that. We need to change something on the attorney's fees. And the basis of the perpetual easement, if the charter school is to fail, we do not want the easement to remain in place after they remove the buildings.
Correct.
Okay,
Are those the two concerns
those are
you
the
have?
two concerns,
Okay.
yes.
In,
So, question on that, because this easement is between the town of Alpine and Lower Valley Energy.
Right.
So, and again, I don't understand construction land, but as you're gonna run power to, where are we at, over here, whether it's the school or nothing or something else down the road, is there value in having electricity already to that
There would,
lot?
it would be an improvement to the land, but we may not want it where it's at. We may want them to move it.
and to clarify, you bring up a good point, that it's an easement with Lower Valley, because if there's infrastructure in the ground or to the box, this gives them access to that. So, it's not between us and the charter school,
Right.
it's between us and Lower Valley.
Right.
If they're putting infrastructure in, and this is the same, when they put power in for your home, anything like that, you basically give them an easement that they can come on your property and so. But I think the point is, if, for example, the use of that property changes, whether this school fails or goes away and we want something else to be there, then we don't want this perpetual easement to be in place.
Right.
Does that hopefully answer your question?
so, yeah.
Okay. Did you have any other questions?
What was your concern about the attorney fees?
Well, because it says that we have to pay the grantees attorney's
yeah.
fees.
And
They're the
that shall
grantee.
not.
We're the grantor.
We're the grantor.
grantors. They're the grantees. Everybody pays their own attorney's fees.
Yeah.
That discourages litigation.
So the motion is, can you state it one more time just to make sure we have it?
Motion is it states to approve the electric distribution easement with Lower Valley Energy and allow the mayor to sign it upon review and approval of our town attorney.
Okay, so that basically covers this. We'll have a chance for Jim to make those adjustments, and once he has done that, I will say, yep, and he feels good about it, and then we can sign it at that time, the way the motion is
Correct.
been. Okay,
I'll need Monica to forward, because this was never sent to me, so. I need to-
Yeah, I didn't get it until like after 4 today.
we'll send it to you, and you'll get it at 2:30 in the night.
Well,
I'll get
I
it.
will, but
I'll email it.
I just need the person who it's coming from so I can communicate.
Yep,
Okay.
I'll forward.
Any other questions?
I just want to
Yep.
say why I'm going to vote no. Mainly, it's because I was under the guise that the buildings would not show up till 2026 in the spring to be open by the fall of 2026. So I just think this is, we have buildings that we didn't expect to have so soon on our land.
Well, you didn't expect.
I
it to be-
didn't. I shouldn't say we.
Yeah.
Apologies. Just me.
Their lease allowed them to move the buildings on, and their goal, after talking to them, is to get the buildings on the property and to get them stitched together, so there's no concerns about winter conditions. And if they're going to do that, they need heat and electricity to it. So the best course of action for them is to get them on there as soon as possible, get the electrical and water and sewer installed, so they could actually start showing them off and get the enrollment would probably go even better if they had, if they were put together and they could start basically selling their wares. So anyways, any other questions, comments? All right, all those in favor of said motion, say aye.
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 Nay.
Opposed? Nay. Motion carries. And now we're on to public comment. Did anyone stay? Oh,
Patricia McQuaid, Town of Alpine. When I went home from the previous meeting on, what was it, well, 2 weeks ago, I read my notes, then a question came up I wish I had asked, but I would still like clarification on it. Councilwoman Scafidi asked about equipment moving dirt on the school, the land that the school's going to be on. And Monica said that you don't need a permit to move dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think you don't need a permit to move dirt on your own property. And, at that point, because at that meeting is when you voted to accept their business plan, which was one of the
stipulations.
provisions that they had to fill. So they didn't really have an effective lease before the meeting 2 weeks ago, right? It was not in, it had not been approved or had not been cleared or whatever you want to say. The conditions of precedent had not been met before the meeting 2 weeks ago, right?
So what's your concern?
The concern is that they were on the property before they had a lease, before the lease was active,
Okay.
okay?
I
I
don't,
think she's trying to
I'm
get to
saying,
what is
Is
legal.
that legal to go onto somebody's property you don't have a legal right to
It-
at the time?
if they have permission, they can.
So who
Well,
gave them
Who gave
permission?
them permission?
It,
Who gave them permission?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay, then they didn't have permission.
We don't know that they didn't have permission. We need to look into it and find out who gave them the go-ahead to
Well, who
go
could
to.
have given them permission?
It could be somebody in planning and zoning. It must not have been the mayor. So that's something we will look into and find out.
nobody bothered to check when they were over there moving dirt before the lease was active?
Wasn't the lease already signed?
No, the lease
Waiting on
wasn't signed yet.
provisions?
So then, as I understood it, they wouldn't be able to apply for a building permit until they got their lease active. So.
They,
that
they
means-
couldn't be issued a building permit until their lease was effective. And so the lease also said that they had to submit their plan. It did not say that the town council had to accept it. And so I don't know that anybody, they were in the process of working with planning and zoning on getting a building permit and starting that process and working with the building official. I'm not sure if anybody ever said, sure, go ahead and start digging. I mean, I think they felt like they had already done everything by that point to us. They had paid all their
Well,
fees and that,
if
so
they
I
didn't
don't,
need- If they
Yeah.
didn't need to wait for the town to vote, for the town council to
yeah,
vote,
I'm not aware that they did.
then why did you vote?
I think it's the right thing to do. It's
Well, I
transparency.
think it was the
It's,
legal thing to do. Maybe our legal counsel could say, were they within their legal rights to go on that property before the lease was active?
I guess we can sit and debate this. The question is what are you going to do about it? Not you, just they went on the property. When I found out about it, my reaction is they weren't to go and move a single rock off that place until it was done. So my understanding was it stopped after, and I didn't communicate this to anybody but Monica. Remember, when we were on the phone, I didn't want to move in a single rock until everything was done. So I don't know if that got communicated to them, but my understanding was it stopped at that point. And so what do we want to do about it? What's our legal remedy? That I don't know what to tell you. They came on the property. I guess we could go after them for trespassing.
Then they applied for, do they have a building permit
Yes,
at
ma'am.
this point?
yes, ma'am.
Well, so they applied for it, when did they apply? for it?
They applied for it quite some time ago,
Yeah, months ago.
months ago.
But they didn't have a lease. How can you get a lease apply for a permit on property you don't have a legal right to?
That's why we weren't able to give them a building permit until the lease was signed and enacted or whatever.
But you're allowed to apply for it?
Of course,
When you don't have a piece of property that you have the right to?
sure.
It's just the cart before the horse.
Okay.
I think it's that dumb.
All right. So.
I mean, it
I'm
was
very
their risk.
disappointed
It
that
was their
the town
risk.
Let them onto the property that they did not have a legal right to.
Duly noted, thank you.
And just so you are aware, I did ask that all dirt be saved to the town for berms and other things that we need. So I'm hoping that's the case, that would be used for that.
We have not communicated that with them.
Oh, okay.
But we will.
Okay, because I'd hate to see it just leave in a dump truck.
So typical construction, they move dirt around, make mounds of dirt, and then they'll do all their construction, and then I know they have a landscaping plan, and they're gonna build berms and everything. So I think it's really unlikely that that dirt's just gonna go someplace else. But I will communicate that with them if that's a concern that you have.
Yeah, and the only concern was, it was more that hopefully we can start to beautify around the sewer plant, this town building, things like that.
On that note, and I think we've discussed it openly, that we're going to get a couple bids for landscape architects to come up with a plan to beautify around there. There's been some other concerns that have been raised that would incentivize us to do exactly that. So we'll bring those to light when the timing is right. But it also might be a little early, seeing as though the master plan is going on. So I hate to spend money on something that something else may come out of the master plan, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, we're at least going to get a couple bids from landscape architects to give us a plan.
Okay.
So, and then we'll bring that to light when it comes up.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
On the subject of the berms,
Yeah.
specifically, you'll see berms, if your back is facing the highway, your front is facing the skate park, to the right of the skate park, there's some piles there. That is to be for the future pump track, with those, with that dirt that's good dirt.
They moved the dirt where the pump track was over to there. They relocated it.
Yep.
Oh, so.
That's part of their lease as well. So there was the pump track on there. It was a little rough, but anyways, they took the dirt, leveled that off, and moved the dirt over there, so. All right, any other public comments? All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. 8:18.